Hey guys, super excited, first YouTube video, and it's a Q&A based video, and this is in response to my Instagram post. I've said that if anybody had any fitness related questions, they could just direct message me, and I'll get back to them during this video. So, first question I thought was really relevant, especially this time of year, so you've probably guessed it. It's lean bulking, so gaining muscle whilst maintaining some sort of six-pack or relatively good body fat level. So how do we go about doing this? So everybody's different. So some people can tolerate more food, some people can tolerate more training, and vice versa. So the standpoint that I'd say for everybody to follow, the protocol to follow for everybody, is to maintain your normal training, your normal diet, and if you increase your body fat levels during this and you're not happy with what you look like, then just decrease the calories or keep your calories the same and implement more training into this. So it's all about being honest with yourself and monitoring what you're looking like in the mirror. And if you're happy with what you look, so if you're happy with what you're looking like and you think, right, this is what I want to maintain, but I want to increase muscle on top of this, have your normal food increase it slightly. See what happens after 2 weeks, and if you put excess body fat on, then just tailor it on the food, or as I say, you can increase your workload. So that's what we need to do. It's just about monitoring what we're looking like, keeping everything consistent, not cheating on the food all the time because that can throw us off. So that's the advice I'd give. So the next question is what is about someone who hasn't seen any fat loss results during a 2-week period. So typically, when you start a diet, you tend to lose weight really quickly because when we reduce our calories, that's what happens. Our body hasn't caught up with us yet and tries to fight us within this period. So I would implement some cardiovascular-based exercise either after your weight training or fasted on an empty stomach. Another part of the question was mentioning that he had low energy levels, and being 2 weeks into a diet, the energy levels are probably due to maybe the lack of sleep that you're actually getting, because you mentioned you haven't dramatically changed your diet too much. So it may be you may be overtraining slightly. You may be because you've started a new diet, you may be all fired up, and you may be overtraining slightly. So maybe pull back on the training slightly and just do your normal training, and then just implement some sort of cardiovascular based exercise. And if you do feel a bit more fatigued and a bit more tired, I'd probably do your exercise after training, just 15 minutes, on the treadmill, slight incline if you fancy, moderate to high intensity. There's loads of different ways we can do this, guys. We all have our favourites, but it's just important to just mix it up and just burn them calories. Ultimately, that's what it's really all about. I like to do a lot of HIIT training, so periods of high intensity and then periods of really low intensity. So say 10-second bike sprints followed by 30 seconds of relatively stable cycling. I mean, that's just an example. So next question is about natural training. So people training naturally. So people training naturally and people training, using performance enhancers. Guys, there's not that much difference really. All the exercises, in terms of there's not much difference between the training. The exercises are all the same. The intensity should always be as high as possible. Obviously recovery period, the recovery with people using performance enhancers is a lot better, and they recover a lot quicker. So there isn't that much difference in terms of the amount of training you should do, realistically, because we can all, for example, I train pretty much seven days a week. I'm having 700 carbs plus on a daily basis. I've got a very high metabolism, as you can probably tell, and I'm getting enough sleep in, and I'm training really hard, guys, and I'm feeling pretty good. There will be days for everybody, whether they're using performance enhancers or not, where you just feel, tired. It's just human nature. But the important thing is that you're getting enough sleep, you're getting enough food, and you're training as hard as you can, you know, for most sessions. Well, for every session, I should say. So there's no difference realistically, apart from that they recover quicker and they can build quicker, they can build more muscle quicker. If you can tolerate 6 sessions a week, 6 weight training sessions a week, and you're eating and getting enough sleep, then do it. You know, if you're natural or you're not. You know, if that's what you can do, then that's fine. So this brings me on to my last question. So just a bit about myself, really. I started weight training when I was 14. I'm now 21 years old. I started competing at the age of 20. My first competition was the European Championships in fitness model, where I managed to place first, which I was really pleased about. That was my first season. And a bit about me was I went to see that show that I entered the year before, in the previous year, just to see the standard about actually how, you know, the level of natural, this was in a natural federation, the level of, you know, conditioning, the level of, you know, muscularity that these guys had and what I would have to achieve. So I had a look and I thought that this is something that I could work towards for next year's show. Not in an arrogant way, because I'd already been training for like 5 years or so, and I had a couple of people's opinions about, you know, whether I could cope with the standard and whether I could get myself in shape for the year after. So I took a full year, guys. You know, I took a year out and then I prepped for 8 weeks, which is, you know, I managed to get in, you know, great condition. And if you look on my social media, then you can see this. And I managed to win the Natural European Championships in fitness modelling, which is absolutely, you know, after all the hard work, as some of you guys, you know, have done, you know, yourself with your dieting, you know, when it pays off, it's a really good feeling, you know. So that's when I got the bug of obviously competing, and obviously I've always been into developing my physique, guys, but this was something where, you know, you look at every aspect, you know, instead of thinking, oh, okay, I need one more inch in my biceps, or try, well, you know, that sort of thing, you know. It's about how your body looks and, you know, the angles, you know, and how to pose and how do you display your body, you know, in the way where, you know, it shows you in the best light, you know. So that's what I enjoy doing now. So I'm continuing to compete, as you can obviously see over my social media. If you haven't already been there, then go check it out. It's JT Barrows _fitness. So just want to say a big thanks, guys, for all the messages again. You know, I just love helping out. You know, I'm actually developing all my knowledge at university. I'm actually studying strength and conditioning. I'm just about to finish off my degree. Actually, I've only got a few more months of finishing my strength and conditioning degree, where I've studied nutrition, obviously training, you know, everything to do with sport really, and performance, and how to enhance performance and that sort of thing, you know, rehabilitation. So, you know, I'm not only learning, you know, for my own self, but I like to, you know, share the knowledge that I'm gaining from obviously this, you know, this level of understanding, and, you know, giving it to you guys. So, you know, if you guys have any questions, or you like what I've been speaking about, then hit the subscribe button. You know, I'd really appreciate that. So it's been fantastic, and I can't wait to hit another video. Thanks.